Are you constantly feeling insecure about the idea of your partner cheating on you? Have you ever wondered how to make your relationship truly cheat-proof? Well, focusing your attention on your partner's behavior is actually causing more insecurity within yourself and will actually push your partner further and further away. So in this video, I'm going to break down why your worries about cheating are causing damage and the way to make your relationship truly cheat-proof. So, I get that feeling of insecurity. You maybe see signs that your partner is pulling away from you, maybe they're moving closer to somebody else, and that feeling of worry and panic that there's a real risk of your partner cheating. I've felt that before many, many times in the past. And during this time, all of these emotions can cause a lot of subconscious behaviors within ourselves that can actually push our partners further away. During this time, we can fall for what we call the paradox of control, where we subconsciously or even consciously try to pull our partner close to us, away from the cheating risk. And oftentimes this attempt to pull our partner closer to stop them from cheating can result in one or more of these three different ways. So we can try to pull our partner back in actively. This is doing things like telling our partner that they can't speak to certain people, or giving ultimatums. If you speak with XYZ, then don't talk to me again. Or if you go out tonight, then you can sleep somewhere else. All of these behaviors are very actively trying to control our partner and try to force our partner to make a decision to come back closer to us. We can also fall into the trap of becoming what we call the yes man. This is becoming ultra needy, saying yes to everything, almost forgiveness or begging for attention, making promises to do anything. This is where we become very, very needy and where we are literally putting aside our own needs and our own ideas and feelings and trying to pull our partner back in by showing them that we are willing to literally do anything at all in order to stop them from cheating. And this is a very needy behavior. Or we can act passively. This is where we pretend not to care. So we start to pull away, we start to become emotionally defensive. And often this ends up being quite passive aggressive, saying things like, sure, go and see XYZ, have yourself a great time. Or we pretend to sort of shrug it off like we don't care. Our partner tries to speak about certain people that we feel jealous or insecure of, then we pretend that we don't care. We're kind of shrugging off their feelings and their ideas. And this is what my members and I call the lone wolf illusion, which is where we pretend that we are some lone wolf and we don't need anybody. We don't want to be in this relationship. And what our partner does doesn't matter to us. But again, this is subconsciously controlling our partner and trying to fake that we're not interested in order to try to bring them back to us, to stop them from going and speaking with other people. And the problem comes is that when you act in these insecure ways, it's like a dark cloud that follows you everywhere. It casts a shadow on even the best moments with your partner. It causes more of a distance between you and your partner because it starts to destroy the foundation of the intimacy of the relationship, and it pushes your partner further away from you. The attraction to you actually starts to get destroyed with all of these three behaviors. Ironically, this increases the chances of your partner seeing the value in alternative partners. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying that this will push your partner to cheat. Ultimately, they are going to make their own decisions. When the attraction is being destroyed in your relationship, plus the world around us will always be filled with other potential partners, that threat will never go away. Then your partner can start to have feelings of attraction, which is a normal feeling that everyone has. But the problem comes when they don't have what we call the emotional safety to talk about it with you. So if you are acting in one of these three ways that we mentioned earlier, either actively, passively, or becoming the yes man, then when your partner has these feelings of attraction and then maybe some guilt for finding someone attractive or having thoughts of cheating or even just wanting to talk to you about the way that you're acting and the attraction between you both, then when there's no emotional safety, your partner will feel like there's going to be a negative consequence if they talk to you about it. And this is specifically what we call emotional safety. In essence, emotional safety is the space to express your feelings without any negative consequences. Negative consequences like arguments, judgment, anger, shouting, all of these sort of toxic behaviors. So when you're feeling insecure about your partner cheating and acting in one of these three ways, then it damages emotional safety. It tells your partner that if you mention that you're having thoughts of being attracted to other people, I'm not going to handle it well. And if you think about those three ways, if you're acting actively, you've essentially told your partner that they can't speak with someone else. You've already implied that they will be punished, not for cheating, but for simply talking to another person. So as a consequence, they think deep down, if they tell you their real feelings right now, they think that you're not going to listen, that you're not going to take it well, and that nothing is going to get figured out. You've already told them that you're going to act badly. So they're going to take you at your word and just not tell you about their feelings, not tell you about the attraction that they may be having because they think that there's going to be a bad reaction. If you've been acting passively, if you pretended that you don't care and you've started to pull away, then essentially what you're telling them is their feelings aren't really that important anyway, which destroys emotional safety because they can see that you do care about the relationship, but you're more interested in maybe your own ego, creating emotional distance and protecting your own feelings rather than building the intimacy and the attraction up. So essentially, if they do feel attraction to someone else, they don't feel emotionally safe to tell you because they feel like you're going to continue to pull away and build a bigger distance between you. You know, if you think about it, if you've been pulling away and sort of protecting your own feelings, they think to themselves that if they tell you their feelings, then ultimately you're going to pull even further away. And that's going to send the relationship on an even worse trajectory. Or if you've been acting as the yes man, when you're acting all needy and you're saying yes to everything, you're begging your partner to do whatever it takes in order to build this relationship up and turn it into something special. This destroys emotional safety by telling your partner that you are so desperate to do whatever it takes to stop them from cheating that you're willing to put all of your own needs completely aside. And this in itself is one of the biggest killers of attraction because it tells your partner that if they do tell you that they're attracted to someone else, then you simply emotionally wouldn't be able to handle it, that you will crumble and fall apart. And not only are they going to have to deal with the emotions of having the attraction to somebody else and dealing with the guilt around that, but they're also going to have to deal with the emotions of having to pick you back up and help you rebuild your self-esteem. Basically, they feel pressured to simply figure out their own feelings alone, now that they already have added guilt on top because you're rolling out the red carpet for them while they have feelings for someone else. So they feel like you're going to crumble. And all of this leads to your partner to keep all of their feelings inside. And just before I jump on to the next point, if you do want more videos on relationships, then feel free to subscribe to the channel for new videos every single week. Now, here's the thing is that all human beings have a fundamental need to be able to express themselves, to feel understood and unjudged. When we hold our feelings inside, when we repress them, they often come out in toxic ways because we do have that need to be able to express ourselves. So these toxic ways can end up being shouting, creating emotional distance, infidelity, etc. So with all of these ways, this actually discourages your partner from ever telling you that they have an attraction to somebody else. You know, if you think of it this way, if the person that they are supposed to spend the rest of their life with is unable to be their pillar of support for their feelings, then how scary is that? They can't even express a temporary emotion that they're feeling, a passing whim, a passing idea in their mind. So that attraction towards you goes down because your partner can't talk about it with you. So that takes the intimacy down and it becomes a negative spiral. All the while, other potential partners who have nothing to lose will always be around, will always be able to, at least on a honeymoon period kind of basis, be able to hear all of your partner's feelings. They can be there for your partner and build that intimacy up. So by acting in these three ways, you're actually destroying the attraction and the emotional safety that your relationship is built on. So how do you actually prevent this spiral from happening? How can you stop this cycle in its tracks? Well, there's three main steps. Firstly, switch your focus from your partner to your growth. So for example, if you think about relationships as kind of like a business, if your focus is on making $1 million, just the $1 million figure, you're going to be scrambling around trying to test all these different ideas, trying one thing and then giving up, trying another thing, then giving up in order to make this $1 million figure. You're not going to have any real direction. Maybe by pure chance, you'll hit that $1 million, but you won't be able to keep it that way. Whereas if you spend your time growing your business, learning, iterating, overcoming those challenges that come up in business, then any good business will have the potential to make that $1 million. And this is the same for relationships. Once you stop spending your time on focusing on whether your partner is going to cheat or not, and put your focus on becoming the absolute best option available, someone who is able to offer something that the other options aren't. So even if there is an attraction to another option, you will still be growing in that direction anyway, and to be able to build what you can offer within a relationship. And this is the key way to get rid of insecurity, because once you're always focused on your growth and your change, you're always going to be building yourself up and you're always going to be headed in that direction. If you're always focused on becoming the better option, then even if there is a temporary better option, it won't really matter because you're heading in that direction anyway. And this in itself helps to build your self-esteem because you're building your body of work and the evidence of your growth as you go. You're able to see your changes. But what does this growth mean? What does this look like? Is this money? Is this looks? Is this having a good body? Well, that stuff is all good, but this is not actually the priority. This is where a lot of people slip up because they think that it's all about money, looks, and physical attraction. But these are actually quite low on the scale of needs. This is stuff that there are a lot of people that can offer. There are a lot of rich people. There are a lot of people who are good looking. There are a lot of people who have a good body. But to be able to truly build an unshakable relationship foundation, you need three things: the emotional safety, the intellectual intimacy, and the goal synergy. And if you do want to deeper dive into those three things, join me on my free relationship bootcamp, where I'll show you these three main elements and how they're foundational to every single relationship. Click on the link in the description to get started today. Next, it's important to build the foundation, which is the emotional safety, with crucial conversations. So it's important to, as a foundation, to build this emotional safety around conversations of your partner and what they are attracted to. So this is not necessarily directly talking about specific people that you're insecure about, opening up conversations about what your partner does find attractive, what they find unattractive. Not only will this show that you're interested in building the intimacy between you both, but it would actually build evidence to your partner that you're able to handle having those conversations without being sarcastic or jealous or pretending like you don't care. The more that they feel safe to share about their feelings and what they find attractive and what they don't find attractive, the more encouraged they will be to open up. So the more that the emotional safety is built, the more any worries or fears that they have about those emotions will actually start to subside, and the more that the attraction towards you will continue to grow, even if they do have an attraction to someone else. And of course, during these conversations, it's really important to have your mindsets and your emotions locked down tight, to be able to be present and to not destroy emotional safety even more. So if you do want to deeper dive into building the emotional skills to have tough conversations and turn those situations into opportunities, then I will leave you with this video on emotional alchemy right here. I'll see you over there.